And that's super, super important. Alright, let's start talking about auctions. And this is funny because coming from an agency and previously to that, a client background, Facebook auction seemed like that mysterious thing that you have no idea. You put your money there, you don't know what really happens. Let's try to demystify that. The one thing that I gotta say is that we do auction because we want to make sure we're being fair with the advertiser, but with the people. Remember that slide that I had trying to bring value to people and businesses alike? An average person on Facebook scrolls their feed down around 300 feet of feed every day. That's a lot, right? That represents a lot of opportunities for us to show content from businesses, for us to show ads as well, but at the same time we need to make sure that we are showing the right thing. So let's say that those images are all different businesses trying to reach single woman in Philadelphia, right? Each one of those guys here, they might have different ad objectives. Some of them might want you to download something, some of them might want you to buy with them online, to give your information in a lead form, right? So how do we make sure that with all those different business objectives that we show that the Isadora, who's in Philly, well, I'm not single, so that's not the best example, but how do we make sure that we're showing the right ad to that specific person? We need to give them, we need to calculate the total value so we can compare and do more like apples to apples kind of comparison. The ad with the highest total value, in this case, the middle one, will win that space on my news feed and it's going to be shown to Isadora at that specific point in time. Now, I'm going to be talking about, the signals that we use as Facebook to make sure that we are showing people the right content. But I want to mention that you as advertisers also have the power to make that auction more powerful, more relevant, by using things you already know about people that know your brand, that bought with you in the past. I'm pretty sure you guys are familiar with at least two of those, so the Facebook Pixel and the mobile SDK, which is the name for the Pixel on apps. But also if you have a list of sales coming from your physical store, or if you have a CRM list, you can use all of that to make sure you're re-engaging with those folks on our platforms and really increase the chances of having a higher total value at the end of the day. Okay, let's go back to auction. This is the equation, and I want to walk you guys through that. So for the total value, we're going to take into consideration the advertiser bid, the estimated action rate, how likely it is that by showing Isa your ad, she's going to buy with you online. So imagining that that's your business objective. And finally, the user value. So with this equation, what we're trying to do is really maximize the value for businesses on the first two items that I have, but also maximize what people have to see on our platform, to maximize the user experience. Now, do you guys remember the relevance ad score we had in the past from 1 to 10? Yeah? I cannot see, but I think you were shaking your hand. Okay, so with ad relevance, that was our very, very first attempt to kind of like give you a hint of how well you were doing in comparison to other advertisers targeting the same group of people. We recently changed that because we want to make sure that we're providing even more insights to you. Facebook changes a lot. I'm sure if you guys have been working with Facebook for a couple of years now, you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes can be a little overwhelming. But we do that because we want to make sure we are evolving with the pace that we need to evolve. We are innovating as we should to make sure that you are reaching your business results. So the relevance score is now, we don't have that anymore. We have the 3 other things that will hopefully be more insightful to you. And we're going to tell you if the quality of your ad, the engagement rate, and the conversion rate in comparison to other advertisers. We're going to tell you if that, bless you, if that's above, if that's average, or if that is below in comparison to other people targeting the same folks. So hopefully that's going to be more insightful, and it's going to help you to understand what you need to do in order to see better results on our platform. Estimated action rate, I don't think I said before, but it is our prediction on how people will behave after they see your ad, and your bidding strategy is what we're going to be talking in a second. So you see, with this equation, even advertisers that don't have a lot of budget or don't have a very aggressive bid have a chance to win the auction if they do have a great ad, if they build a really interesting targeting audience. They do have a chance of winning the auction. So the second thing that I want to talk to you about is your pacing system, which is basically your bidding strategy. If you think about pacing in the default way, Facebook thinks about that as we want to make sure that you spend your time, your budget, as smoothly as possible throughout the time of your campaign. Right? We want to make sure that we are not exhausting your budget on the very first days, right? And we are not holding that time so you don't spend your full budget by the end of your campaign. So the ideal way, the way we think about this is we're going to calculate the fast response bidding for you on the back end, right? Because ideally you would have this 9-degree angle. And we're going to make sure that, if you're spending too fast, we might reduce that bid a little bit so you have budget to spend and enter more auctions throughout the end of your campaign. And if you're spending it too fast, if you're spending it too slow, we might increase your bid so you enter more auctions and you have more chances. This default strategy is called the lowest cost bidding, where we calculate that for you. And you're basically telling Facebook, spend my budget in full while finding as many outcomes as possible. So we're going to go for the cheapest outcomes first, and then we're going to go over a little bit more expensive outcomes for you. But the idea is to get you as many results as possible throughout the time of your campaign with the budget you have given us. Yeah, so you can take pictures of those slides. Fantastic. All right. The second one is the target cost bidding. With this one, you're going to give us a target cost, an average target cost, right? So we will understand that you need predictability. That's the most important thing for you. So we might go over a little bit your target bid, right? And we're going to get you more expensive results, but we're also going to get you cheaper results. At the end of the day, we have to meet that target cost that you have told us. So you're basically telling Facebook, spend my budget in full while finding as many outcomes as possible, close or at my target cost per outcome. Were you guys familiar with this one? Target cost? Yeah? The other one I want to talk to you about is the lowest cost with a bid count. So remember when we were talking about Facebook calculating that for you, your best response bid? Well, in this case here, you're going to tell us what's the max bid that you want to go, right? You're putting that constraint to our platform because that's important to you. So that's the limit you're telling Facebook to go. We're not going to go and try to find outcomes that are more expensive than that. We're going to go below that. You're basically telling Facebook, spend as much of my budget as possible, but only bid on an impression if the bid is under my set limit. Alright, so we talked about lowest cost, target cost, lowest cost with a big cap, and there is a new one that is rolling out to more advertisers. I don't think it's for everybody right now, but it's rolling out for the next couple of months. Can somebody tell me which one it is? I can promise you a cool swag.
Cost cap?
Yes, cost cap. Fantastic. Thank you. That's the new one we are offering, cost cap, where you're going to tell us what's your cost cap. For advertisers that are really concerned about CPA, cost per action, or cost per install, we do understand that you might want to have control over that. So you're going to tell us what's your cost cap, and we're not going to go over that. You're basically telling Facebook, spend as much of my budget as possible, but only bid on outcomes that are at or close to my set cost per outcome. This may not be available to everybody right now, but we are slowly rolling out for all the advertisers in the US in the next upcoming months. Are you guys with me still? Yeah? Okay, auction, pacing, system, yeah. Alright, so the last thing I want to talk to you guys about is advertiser control. And it's super important to talk about that because everything that you select, everything that you choose will have an impact on your campaigns with us, right? We say that sometimes you need to really think about the constraints or the selections you're making because more often than not, leaving to the machine to learn and optimize for you is going to be your best option. But we want to make sure you have all the information you need in order to make informed decisions. You do have advertiser control across all the layers of your campaign. So the campaign level, the ad level, and finally your creative, right? And I'm going to share a couple of best practices we are seeing with big and small businesses. The first one that I have for you, and this is very straightforward. Map your objective to your true business goal. Now, this could be super simple and you were thinking to yourself, Isa, that's obvious. But we see that a lot of advertisers, and I'm going to tell you, some of the big ones, don't think about that. They start thinking about social media or Facebook before they start thinking about business results. We want to make sure we Facebook, and when I say Facebook, it's the Facebook family of apps and services, including Instagram, Messenger, and Audience Network. We want to make sure that the dollar you invest in our platforms is your best dollar, right? So likes don't pay the bills, right? If you think about your marketing strategy, you probably have a business goal in mind. That should be the same on social. So starting with that and then going to our platforms to understand how we can help you achieve that business goal, it's going to be crucial. So if you don't remember anything that I said here today, remember that and apply that to your clients or to your businesses. It's also important to say that, and this continues to be my tip number one because it goes hand in hand, that the objective you are going to select, it's going to unlock a couple of options for you in your campaign. And you need to make sure you're mapping your objective to sufficient signal strength. What does that mean? Well, let me try to explain this one with a quick story. My boyfriend has a business, and I was helping him with his digital marketing strategy, right? So we sat down. It's a therapy, online therapy kind of business in Brazil, pretty much like Talkspace. You guys know Talkspace here? Yeah? Okay. So it's pretty much like Talkspace, but in Latin America. We sat down and I was asking him, what's your business goal? He was like, sales. I was like, okay, you have a new brand, you have a new website, let's flesh this out. And he was like, sales. I need sales. Online sales. I need bookings online. I was like, okay. How many sales, darling, are you having on a weekly basis right now? And he told me, well, in a good week, I probably have 10 sales, 10 bookings with different therapists. I was like, okay, 10 therapists. We cannot, and he was like, I have the pixel installed. I was like, that's great, that's fantastic. But let's think about how many people you have knowing about your brand and going to your website. The optimal way to think about conversions in our platform is having at least 50 conversions per ad set per week. Remember, he told me that he was having 10 sales a week, right? So what we did, we started to think about a full funnel strategy to first introduce his new brand to an audience that is not used to online therapy, and then sending people to his website, because optimizing for conversion at that specific moment was not really the most optimal way to do that. So make sure that you have your objective is mapped to sufficient signal strength. 50 conversions per ad set per week. That's not a rule. If you have less than that, you can always try it out. But that's what we see working the best with our clients. If you're not getting those 50 conversions, consider optimizing to one step before your marketing strategy or your website strategy. Make sense? All right. I usually have smaller rooms so I cannot see your faces, but I'm imagining in my head that you're like, yes, it does make total sense. If it doesn't, if you have any specific questions at the end, we're going to be right there with the Facebook Blueprint folks at the back. So come with your questions, come and say hello. We'd love to hear from you. All right. My second tip for you is about targeting and your objective. Again, my first tip that I said was so straightforward. Those two work together to handpick the folks that will receive your ad. Think about targeting as the outlier of your campaign, right? When you're selecting, you're doing like a round circle around a specific group of people. Your objective, it is what is going to dictate inside the circle who we are going to pick to show your ad. As a Latina, I love using my hands to demonstrate things, but I don't need that because I do have a slide for this. There you go. Let's say that you're targeting people in California from 18 to 30 to 24 years old, right? That's the outlier that you are doing. Inside of that, the objective that you're selecting is going to help us identify who are the folks that matter the most for your specific business. Because inside this group, we have people that click on ads a lot. That would be my mom. People that are more likely to buy online. People that are more likely to visit a specific store. The objective you select will unlock different optimizations methods, and it's going to tell us who are the most important folks for us to go after. I don't have a slide on this presentation talking about specifically about clicks, but I feel that I have to say something about this. Clicks don't usually correlate to sales on our platform. So for the agencies and clients out there, I think you guys probably know about this, right? Facebook works a little bit different, and sometimes we have the clickers, just like my mom. 2 years ago, she was not on Facebook, now she is. She clicks on absolutely everything, but she's probably not going to buy online with you. So considering other options from a buying and optimization perspective might bring you more results. Tip number 3. Again, there's no right or wrong when it comes to pacing or bidding strategies. It's all about what you care the most. But remember, there's always a trade-off, right? It's always a trade-off between scale and control. If you want more scale, you might go with the lowest cost, and that's it, without a big cap, and you're going to let our platform find you the best results. If you want to have more control, you might going to go with the lowest cost with a big cap or with a cap cost. Now I'm going to ask you guys to participate again. Is there anyone already using CBO, Campaign Budget Optimization? Fantastic. Ben is like so happy. This is awesome, guys, because it's one of those tools that we created to facilitate your life. It's like there's no reason not to. Well, there are reasons why you might not be using it, but I would totally encourage you guys who did not raise your hand to check this out. Maybe do a blueprint e-learning course about that and learn more about this. Campaign budget optimization. So if you think about your campaigns, you can have different ad sets, right? For each one of those ad sets, you gotta tell Facebook what's your budget, how much you wanna bid, and what's your budget for each one of those ad sets, right? So here's my first example with a $30 budget. I decided to put $10 in each one of those. The first ad set, the second, and the third one, equally, right? There's no much of a difference in terms of target. Well, there is a difference in terms of targeting and creative, but ultimately, I don't really care if ad set number 1 is winning versus ad set number 2. What I want is video views or online sales, right? What campaign budget optimization does for you, you're going to start at the campaign level, and we're going to distribute that across your ad sets as we see the most opportunities. So my first example was that $30, right, dividing $10 for each one of my ad sets, I was able to get you 10 outcomes with a average cost per outcome of $3. On the second one, on the other hand, I was able to get you 15 conversions instead of 10. And the reason being is because in the first example, ad set number 2, which we were seeing the most results, exhausted the budget, so we didn't have more money to put towards that, and on the second one we did. So campaign budget optimization, something that if you're not trying it, I would really encourage you to learn more about. If you have any questions, we can open our computers at the back and show you how simple it is. Tip number 5, mix platforms and placements to see the best results. So I mentioned before the Facebook family of apps and services. That's a mouthful. Whenever you come to our platform and you select placement optimization, as we call it, you're basically telling Facebook that it doesn't matter if your ad's going to be shown more on Instagram versus Facebook. What you care the most is that you get more of whatever you're trying to accomplish on our platforms. So you're basically giving us more chances and more spaces to show your ads to more people, and probably we're going to get a chance to get more cost-effective results for you first. So when we're talking about placements, those are one of the platforms we have: Facebook, Instagram, Audience Network, and Messenger, WhatsApp as well in some countries. And when we're talking about the placement itself is stories, the news, the feed, or the right column, or canvas, how you're going to creatively display your marketing idea. What we see is that by doing placement optimization, instead of choosing 1 or 2 platforms, you're going to see a lower cost per result. So here in my example, I'm only using Facebook, right? Single placement. You can mix 2 or more placements as well, but the most cost-efficient way to do ads with us, it's for sure doing placement optimizations. Before coming to Facebook, working on the agency side, I can tell you that all the tasks that we have run in the past, the best results I saw was when we were doing placement optimization. And finally, creative, which is something that my clients at the time were always curious to know more about. While there's no magical recipe for creative on our platforms, we keep being surprised about the creativity of our agencies and clients. I can tell you for sure that those 5 tips are the mecca of creative on our platform. First one, design with an objective in mind. So whatever you're trying to do, whatever is your campaign objective, make sure you kind of tell people what that is about on your creative. If you're trying to have them signing up for something, going to your website to learn more about your product, make sure you're using the right call to action button to tell them that, and that you convey that on your creative. Second thing, grab attention early. Within the first 3 seconds, I would say. People are scrolling through the feed all the time. I know that we're all marketers, so we have like this love about the marketing and the campaigns we put out there. But people usually come to our platforms to connect with their friends and families, right? They're not crazy marketers like us, like, oh, I'm gonna see that beautiful ad today, let me open my Facebook. No, they're there to connect with people that matter to them, right? So you need to make sure that you grab their attention within the first 3 seconds. If you think about TV commercials and the way it is, they usually introduce the characters within the first 5 seconds, and then you have the climax, like the problem to be solved, right in the middle of that 45-second spot. And then you have a resolution, right? On Facebook, you need to bring that weird moment at the very beginning of the video to make sure people stop and see what you have to say and watch what you have to say. Brand link. Make sure that your brand is present as well throughout your video, on your image, using the call. You don't necessarily have to have your big logo on the first frame of your slideshow, but make sure that people understand that that's part of your brand throughout whatever they are watching. If it's an image, make sure you're using the colors of your brand, that you're using a verbiage or language that is unique to your brand as well. We do have some clients that invest on Facebook brand lift studies, and the most common mistake is they have a great creative, they are grabbing attention quickly, but they have the brand at the very few last seconds of their video. So even though people recall the message, they do not associate that with that specific advertising. So make sure that people do understand that throughout your video, your slideshow, or your image. We say, build for sound off, but delight with sound on. And that's super important when it comes to video. I'm going to ask you guys to think about your own user experience on our platforms. If you're commuting to work, or you are at the pharmacy waiting to pay for your goodies, your stuff, you know that you don't have your headphones with you, you will not watch a video with sound on, right? You're going to scroll through your Instagram without sound on. And you might grab people's attention within the first 2 seconds, but they're not going to understand your message. The last stat that I saw, 73% of videos on Facebook needed sound on in order to be understood. That's a lot of waste, right? People are watching your video, they're not understanding your message. So make sure that you have graphics, that you have text, and that you add subtitles, so you guarantee that people are understanding your message even when they're watching with sound off. And the last thing, frame for mobile. I loved the initial video we had this morning, right, that you have to keep on learning and keep evolving. And I think that's one of the biggest things the advertisers we work with are really learning. we need to start thinking about video and mobile in the planning phase, at the very first stages of the planning phase. We cannot ignore mobile anymore. And that's not only for our platforms, it goes for absolutely everything, right? What we see is that sometimes advertisers have that beautiful commercial and they want to copy and paste on our platforms because it's a great creative idea. What we ask you to do is, if you don't have the ability to influence the planning of your creative department or your clients, please consider optimizing that, building a slideshow, cutting that video down, making sure you're adding text or subtitles so it's more like mobile friendly. But please just do not copy and paste because you might not see the results that you want, and your creative idea that works so well on the offline world might not work on our platforms. So please consider that. Build for mobile. And the last tip number 7 that I have for you, use our automated tools to help you achieve personalization at scale. We do understand that there's so many options when it comes to Facebook, Instagram, Messenger. We want to make sure that we are taking some of that work out of you so you can really think about more strategically about what you're going to do on our platforms. And the 2 things that I would recommend you to start considering are dynamic ads and dynamic creative. Dynamic ads is a perfect product for e-commerces with like hundreds, thousands of products. They have a product catalog. They really don't have the manpower to do one ad to each specific product, depending on people's navigation through their website. So what we recommend you to do, dynamic ads. Using your product catalog, installing the pixel on your or your client's website, making sure you have all the events set up correctly. Dynamic ads will allow you to show the right ad at the right moment in time to people that went to a specific page on your website. My mom thinks it's evil. It's not. It's technology. It's not magic. It's our remarketing option on our platforms. And finally, dynamic creative. We heard from clients that it could be a little overwhelming to really understand what works best for their brand on our platforms in terms of creative, right? So what you do have the option to do when using dynamic creative is, if you do have lots of assets, if you do have videos and images and you have different headlines, you can give that all to us and we're going to do different combinations of your ad automatically, and we're going to select the winning ad set or the winning creative and continue with that for you. So really making sure that you're using all the optimization that it is at your disposal to take the load so you can focus on more creative stuff. Okay, lots of things. I'm going to leave you guys with 3 main points about this presentation today. And I really hope you consider that if you're not using that you take your clients and you take your campaigns to the next level by considering those 2 things. The first one, use your best information. If you do already have something about your best clients, bring that to our platform so we can make sure we are working with that to create lookalikes, custom audiences, and really help you to have the highest total value possible to win that auction. The second one is minimize constraints. Unless you have a very specific reason to do a target cost or put a big cap or only do one platform instead of placement optimization, we recommend you to let the machine work for you so we can get you the best results possible. And the third one, find ways to automate. Use dynamic ads. Use CBO to make sure that we are doing all the work for you and we can get those best results whenever it's possible. Alright, So I don't think I have any time left for questions, but I'm gonna be right there with my